My name is Jevin Cheney. I am an intervention specialist major. I'm a sophomore. The sport that I played my freshman year was basketball, and I'm not playing anymore because it just wasn't in my heart to play anymore, and I didn't want to take a spot for someone that really was interested in doing it.
My name's Megan Raber, and I'm a senior social work major. And I used to play volleyball. I played my freshman year, but then I stopped playing because of I had too much to do with school, and I kind of lost interest in it.
I'm Kevin Hickman. I am an education major. I ran track and cross country, and I'm not doing it anymore because I had to focus on student teaching.
My favorite part that I had encountered during my time playing was just the camaraderie that the team had, really. I mean, I don't miss playing the sport per se, but one thing that I do miss is just having that closeness with the guys, or not that I've lost that, but like on the court, I don't have that with them obviously anymore, but that's just one thing that playing sports your whole life is kind of strange to get over, but at the same time, you have to look at the big picture, and I've really gained from my decision.
My favorite part about playing volleyball was the connections that I made with the people. Like, my roommate freshman year was a volleyball player, and she actually graduated this last year, and we were together all 3 years. So I guess the friendships that I made through my first year of playing volleyball is what I like the best.
My favorite part, I kind of have two. One was the competition. It was a really competitive time, and it's a lot of fun. And then also all the people that I met on the team that I got to compete with on the relays and everything.
Parts that I missed the least would definitely have to be the time consumption. Like for the first couple weeks while they were all lifting and doing whatever their team stuff was, I was just sitting there in my room and I'm like, wow, I have tons of time to do whatever I want, and the whole feeling of freedom basically, because in college you aren't really forced to go to class. The only thing I was forced to do was go to practice, and that was something that took a while to kind of get used to, but at the same time it was just very, very nice to have. I also don't miss going to practices every day, getting beat up by all the varsity, because I was on the JV squad or whatever, and we would just practice against the varsity, and being the only really big guy that we had on JV, it was very brutal to my body. After the season was done, I was glad that I made the right decision, because it took me another 6 months to get my body back to, I guess, feeling good, because it was just really bumped and bruised, and now it's definitely past all that, but it was a long process.
The part that I missed the least about playing volleyball is the stress that came with it. Like, it was more the practices than it was the games. Like, I would dread going to practice every single day. I'd be thinking about what he was going to make us do and all the crazy things that were going to happen in practice. And I think the worst part that I missed the least was 6 a.m. practices, because I'm not a morning person at all. And waking up that early and going and playing volleyball was just not a good thing.
My least favorite part, most difficult thing, was the time commitment. It was so big that I was either working, class, running, or at meets, or traveling. That was the toughest thing.
Playing basketball helped and hurt academically, I guess, because as a freshman playing basketball, you have to partake in study tables, which was twice a week. And being a college kid, you know that there's times where you do have a lot of assignments and there's times where you don't. And since, at least for the first semester, we had a set schedule of when we had to go get those hours done. And if you go in there and not have anything to do, and you're just going to basically sit there, and you're not allowed to browse the internet, you're not allowed to get on Facebook or whatever. So basically you're just sitting there with your thumb up your butt for 2 hours, which was how long it was, or twiddling your thumbs or whatever, and that's a negative because you feel like you're wasting your time. Whereas now, I mean, if I need to go to the LRC, I can, but I don't have that weight on my shoulder of, oh, you have to get your hours in or whatever. And I feel like I benefited from that aspect because I'm self-driven enough to get my homework done when I need to, whether I procrastinate or not, it still gets done. But I don't have that burden of always feeling like I need to be over to the LRC or have to get my hours in to support coaches' views on me getting that stuff done.
I can't really say that volleyball helped me academically because, like I said earlier, I was a lot more stressed while I was playing it, so I wasn't really focused on my classes. And we did have to do study tables, but those didn't really help either because I remember we would go to study tables and then none of us would actually study. We'd all be doing something completely random and that had nothing to do with academics. So I would actually say that my grades got better after I quit volleyball. So I guess it hurt me academically.
Track was good for academics because I had to maintain a GPA to stay eligible. And I didn't have to do that just for track, but it helped a lot because I had that in the back of my mind. And it hurt it because of the time commitment. It was hard to hit deadlines sometimes because we were always practicing or traveling.